Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today on Grimoire with me, we are going to do the 4 elements and spirit. So we're going to do 5 different spreads here today. Each spread will come with their corresponding correspondences. And then they're going to come with a PDF download and some links to each one of these correspondences for your grimoire, or for this grimoire spread, you can follow along with me today. So grab your National Geographics, grab some old magazines, and let's have some fun. This grimoire, oh my goodness, this is the beginning, the middle, and we're coming to an end. It is getting so very, very full, but I have found an empty page. Let's start off with the element water. Now I've gone through a bunch of my old magazines, and I have an affinity for old National Geographic magazines, so I pulled out some pages here in advance. I love octopuses, one of my favorites. Some of these are for the colors, some of them were for the actual image, and we're going to cut out this as well, and that is going to be a gateway to all the correspondences. So this is going to be the background, and I'm going to cut out the negative parts out of that little door gateway of sorts, and then we'll have some color punch out from underneath it. So this will come with a PDF download, and I will show you in a while what else comes with our PDF download. And this one's best to print it out on cardstock paper. Now I've made it as easy as I could, so we can just use a ruler for most of it, and then just take your time. And then we're going to cut out all the little openings that we have here, and it does not take very long, just a few minutes. And if you don't want to cut them out, you can just paint them with the corresponding elemental colors too. Especially if your hands are getting sore. It's not a good time to be cutting something out for long periods of time. So what we're going to do today is mainly a lot of collaging and having some fun and just letting things flow and be free, and just you can either work with looking for all the color blue or emerald greens for this. You can look up all water pieces or just water animals. I have some coral here that I thought would be really cool for along the bottom. I love coral. We don't have any where we are here in Canada, so I think it's such a beautiful thing to see. I lived in Australia for a year, and in Western Australia, and you could literally just go out a few meters off the shore and you're into coral. It was so beautiful and so clear. So I think when I think of ocean, I think of the coral. So pick things that emotionally make you feel good when you're choosing collage pieces. What emotionally drives you? Now, some of the correspondences that are with the element water. Element water this is not for everyone, but the direction I believe is for north. The time is twilight. The season winter. The colors blue, silver, turquoise, aquamarine. The ruling planet is the Moon, Neptune, and Pluto. The zodiac is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Tarot suit is cups and chalices, whichever you wish to call it. The tools can be used as seashells, water, seaweed, hagestones, chalice, and cauldron. Metals are mercury and silver. Crystals are blue sapphire, amethyst, aquamarine, blue fluorite, blue topaz, blue tourmaline, lapis lazuli, opal, pearl, and sodalite. Plants that represent are aloe, apple, chamomile, ferns, gardenia, jasmine, lemon, lilac, lily, lotus, moss, passion flower, rose, seaweed, thyme, and willow. It rules emotions, intuition, psychic abilities, love, compassion, deep feelings and unconscious mind, fertility, tides, and lunar energy, along with self-healing and reflection. And now, a word from our sponsor, and that sponsor is me. That's right, PDF downloads for this Grimoire 10-page spread, 5 spreads in total. We have our elements. We can just use that as a subtitle. This is also the gates that we're going to be using. So you can print these out on cardstock and then just X-Acto knife cut them out if you'd like, or you can paint in here, or you can cut them out and do layers of magazines underneath, magazine pictures, or you can paint your own background like using stained glass if you'd like, whichever is best for you. And we're going to have all the correspondences for the water element. In each element here we'll have the symbol, the direction, time, season, colors, ruling planet, zodiac, tarot suit, tools, metals, crystals, and plants, and what it rules. And each one of these are going to line up with our gate, and I will show you later how that works out. This will be your title that you'll be able to cut out here and then mount up to your page. So of course we have water, earth, air, fire, and spirit. So we have 6 PDF downloads for this Grimoire with Me spread. And now back to your Grimoire. So after cutting out your doorway, we're going to glue the opposite side with the lines on it so we can hide those. Just some stick glue or some transparent glue will do. Now these are Chinese dancers on stage, but it's the blue that I think is going to be gorgeous behind the doorway. So it can look like water. Your doorway to your elements to another realm can be whatever you wish it to be. I chose something that to match the color blues and to the feeling of the deep blue ocean. So I'm not going to glue down my door yet. I still have some plans to do with that. But it's just going to help me with my placement of my other items. Building up your collage can be very, very, very simple. What I like to do is try not to think about it too much. Just like picking a background for some art journaling. You want to pick 2-3 colors to start off with. and pick a palette, pick a colors, and just start laying them down. In this case, I like to go through my magazines, go through my National Geographics, and pick out a bunch of things that I'd like to use. I may not use them all, but I like to have them ready. In this case, to make it easier and faster, I cut out a few things and had them ready. Playing around with the placement for my friendly neighborhood octopus, I think octopuses are aliens. They are the coolest creatures of the ocean. They are so cool, and I love how some of the smaller ones are so friendly and so happy. So I have to use an octopus in my world. What's going to be in your world? What kind of creatures will you find in magazines? You know, you can just print out the pictures that you like too and collage them all together. It's kind of fun to cut out the shape and work with it and flow it in together into one another. I'm using this eye here to kind of hide the lines of the other papers touching. I like the water coming down on the dry desert eye. It's a purity of the element. Now that I've cut out my door, I'm going to just mark a little line around the edge and keep that for later. Next is the element earth. So I'm going to use some mountains and some meadows to start off with the background. And one thing great about magazine pages and stick glue, that if you change your mind, you can do it quickly and you can lift it off and do it again. That's the nice thing about magazine pages. Play with it a little bit if you need to. And I just had to add a little bit more glue there. I found a cool picture of Stonehenge. I want to go there one day, so I thought I'd include this in little hopes and dreams into this spread. I love the representation of this volcanic mountain in the background too. Unintentionally, I was hoping that they would be, well, close together, but I didn't realize the mountains were going to line up so awesome. Sometimes you try not to think, oh, look at that, see? I did not even plan that. Oh, the mountains lined up. It looks so cool. And I like how the circle around Stonehenge lines up with the fog circle around continuing from the left all the way down through the right. It has a continuous line. Again, something unintentional, but it's cool how it works out. That's what I love about the beauty about collages. You never know where it's going to take you. You have a rough idea when you have in mind. Like I knew I wanted my greens, my colors, my earth stuff. But how things line up sometimes is pretty cool. Oh, I should tell you about the correspondences with the earth element here before I forget. Now, earth is ruled by the direction west, the time light midnight, the season autumn. The colors are green, brown, black, white, and gold. The ruling planet is Venus and Saturn. A zodiac represents Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The tarot suit is pentacles, also known as coins. Tools used is pentacles, salt, crystals, minerals, dirt, herbs, trees, wood, plants, and flowers. The metals is iron and lead. Crystals are emerald, jet, tourmaline, quartz, granite, bedrock, pyrrolite, onyx, jasper, azurite, jade, and fluorite, and halite. The plants that are represented are cedar, cypress, honeysuckle, ivy, magnolia, grains, patchouli, primrose, sage, nuts, oak, and mushrooms. Earth rules grounding, strength, healing, nature, animals, success, stability, of course, sturdiness, foundations, empathy, fertility, death, rebirth, and wisdom. Now I thought, what would the element be of earth without a tree of life? So I chose this really gnarly looking tree. And I thought that would look cool with Stonehenge. I wish I would fit in the middle of Stonehenge. That would look even neater. But Stonehenge was a wee small and I was worried about losing it. So it was just going to have a little shade. We'll finally give it some shade. So what I like to bring in here next into some elements is some flowers, and I'm going to bring in some leaves. I found some sage leaves in a 1980s garden seed catalog book I had in a bathroom read. I don't know why I need a seed catalog from that era, but I think it's just nice to look. But now it's going to be turned into a craft. So I'm going to use the flowers to kind of hide the space at the top there that I ran out of room with. And I have these sage leaves here, and I thought that could hide some of the lines of the page, how the two lines are overlapping. And so I kind of like hiding something over that. And then I don't like any white paper showing when I do my collaging. And another thing, I don't like any humans. I don't like to see any little people by statues or standing. There was actually a little guy by one of the Maori statues and I cut him out. He's gone. Unless it's like a statue or something cool. I don't know. Even if it's a human, I usually mask them up or hide their eyes. Or just have their eyes and no face. It's just weird. I can't do humans in my collages. I want to keep it, I think what it is, I want to keep it like magical and mystical. And I think the first few times I did collages, I started in 1999 in the summertime with my friend. She got me into collaging. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. We had so much fun. We drank so much tea and just made collages all afternoon and just giggled and had fun. Now this one, I found a really neat background, and I really hope it's going to show through the gates, the doorways. Let's work on the element air next. I'm going to use a moth, this beautiful white and pink moth, a snowy owl. We're going to have some butterflies, some smoke. I thought it looked super cool. I can use this smoke also in fire, but I needed some extra element here with the air element. I have a hot air balloon that's a blue one that's above Paris, as you see here. I think that'll look really cool, and I have the cranes that'll be flying with it along the way. I really want the owl to take over this piece. I really want that to be kind of a focal area. I was hoping for more colors of yellow using with the air element. Now you could use either purple or yellow with the air element, and then for spirit you could use white or purple. So because I decided I was going to go purple, but I wound up going a little bit more white with the yellows and the air element with this page. Most of the pictures that I were finding that I was attracted to all had like a light white or grayish background, so I really had to pull in some color with the butterflies. So bringing in my larger pieces first, and then start bringing up the gentle pieces around the side. I have a few cranes that I get to work with too. I like those birds. They're interesting dancers. They're very communicative with their energy. Now I'm using smoke here in the element, but smoke could be used under the fire element. It's a cleansing. But I just really love how the air was moving around the smoke in this picture, so I'm bringing it with the air element. Now this blue hot air balloon is actually in the blue skies of Paris. That's where this one was taken out of the part of the book. So I'm going to bring out the sky of Paris beneath our owl. Now just lining up again where I'm going to be putting up this door. I have some other cranes and I have some bats. I'm not quite sure all what I'm going to use just yet. But I have some bats just in case. I like to put this crane next to the hot air balloon. I think it gives it some more depth to it too. Now the air is ruled by the direction east. The time is dawn. The season is spring. The colors are yellow, golden, white. The ruling planet is Mercury, Jupiter, and Uranus. The zodiac is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The tarot suit is swords. The tools are feather, wand, staff, quill, pen, broom, bells, and singing bowls. Metals are tin and copper, and the crystals are topaz, amber, citrine, jasper, and agate. The plants are anise, aspen, clover, frankincense, lavender, acacia, lemongrass, myrrh, pine, vervain, and yarrow. It rules the mind, clarity, wisdom, knowledge, and logic. The abstract thought, the wind, the higher consciousness, divination, psychic work, intuition, and memory. These are all the correspondences to the air element. Up next, we have the element fire. Now I've cut out all my elementals that I would like to have ready. I just didn't quite know what to do with this little frog yet, so I'm going to add him into the fire, my little fire poison dart frog. So that little guy will be in a little different spot, so we have to trim him down. I love this page. I have held this page for a project for so long that I didn't know what to do with it, but I knew something was going to become of it, and this is it. Excited. I love the fire element. There's so many different ways that you can play with this. And sometimes putting down one sheet and just getting it started and seeing where you're at, everything else starts to fall in place. My friend tells me they love collaging but are scared to start because they don't want to screw it up. And I said, you really just got to cut out a bunch of stuff, have it ready. You may not use it all, but it is going to flow together. Everything always seems to work out. Especially when you're doing collaging. Everything has a home and a place and just flows together. And if not, you can add more on top of it and it'll probably look cool too. The more layers, the better with collages. So again, leaving no white page behind, covering up all the white. And you can always, with any extra spaces that stick out, if you don't care for it, you can take some paint and just blend right over top of it. You can blend the colors over top of the magazine page and blend it right over any spaces that you wish to hide. All these fires I found. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm telling you, I had to go through probably about 40 odd magazines to try to find these. Making sure I'm leaving space for my door. I don't want to cover up all my cool stuff that I've cut out, so I got to be careful with what I'm doing there. Let's go over the fire correspondences. Fire is the direction south, ruled by the time noon. The season is summer. The colors are red, orange, gold, and white. The ruling planets are Mars and the Sun. The zodiac is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The tarot suit is swords. The tools are feather, wand, staff, quill, pen, broom, bell, and singing bowls. The metal is tin and copper. Crystals are red jasper, ruby, bloodstone, lava stone, obsidian, agate, carnelian, sunstone, garnet, tiger's eye, red tourmaline. The plants are allspice, basil, black pepper, cacti, cayenne pepper, chili, cinnamon, garlic, hibiscus, juniper, nettle, onion or red or orange peppers, red poppies, thistle, and tobacco. Fire rules energy, action, will, healing, destruction, passion, physical endurance, strength, sexuality, courage, divinity, heat, flame, and light. Now let's look at the element spirit. There are so many different ways we could take a fifth element. And I've chosen to take a path of spirit, quietness, peacefulness. I come from a land, when I was a young girl, I lived in the northern region above the 60th parallel. Everything is so quiet and pure and peaceful in the snow. The snow can be such a beautiful, gentle place, so I chose the color white. and things that go along with it for the spirit element. The spirit is the direction of all four directions. It is universal. It's a time out of space, out of time. The season is the wheel in motion, the wheel of the year. It is them all. The colors are silver, white, rainbow, black, and purple. The ruling planet is the universe. The zodiac is all the zodiacs. The tarot suit is major arcana. The tools are self, brain waves, decahedron, and DNA shape, white buffalo, spirit bear, and silence. The metals are meteorite and moldavite. The crystals used are clear quartz crystals, diamonds, fossils, petrified wood. The plants are the world trees, the ash tree, and ephedra. It rules unity, wholeness, third eye, self-awareness, to internalize, to transform, to transcend, both within and without. It is about being one with the universe. Is it about astral projection, travel, the other spirit realm? It is all, it is none. It is a cool place to be. Now, not everyone uses 5 elements. I personally just use 4 elements, but everyone voted for the 5th element. I'm using polar bears here because I could not find any spirit bears, any brown or grizzly bears that were white or albino for the spirit bears for this one. Like the white buffalo or spirit bear could be used, so I just had to explain why I have the polar bears there. They're to represent. Now last, I'm gonna glue on all my gateways here. I have a few left to do, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trace out each piece, and then I'm going to be adding a black cardstock paper behind them because I don't want to see the page in behind. I want to have a nice clean black look of the doorways. Now would be really cool with these doors too, is you could just paint a background of some watercolor, just some splashes, some paint and some water, literally just mist some water on paper, splash down some watercolor, and makes your own stained glass doors behind. So you can paint your own background for these doors too if you'd like. I just chose to use corresponding creatures or items or colors to match each element. This one I used the bats. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to be gluing them on to some black cardstock, as I was saying. It's going to help reinforce the doors, and then we don't see the whatever picture's in behind it. So next, after that, we're just going to cut them out after they're all cardstocked and reinforced. Make those look super sharp. And if it's not squared up in the bottom, you can just square up your little doors there. Sometimes when I've cut a few of them out, I hand cut them out, so they weren't perfectly squared up. But imperfections make me happy. I'm not stressing about the little things, not too worried about it. So again, we're going to take each one individually after that. So just fast forward a little ahead. I have them all done now. I have a black and white of Jupiter behind that for the spirit, some fire, some caves for the fire. And now remember we traced out the shape earlier. We're going to use that now. So you can use a light box. If you don't have a light box, just use your window during the day. You can tape up this on the window. So remember our PDF downloads. Now we're gonna grab those. Now if you notice one thing, now the thing is, I've made them a little bit smaller. I could have taken up more space on the page, but instead, what I've done here, I was just going to turn on my light. Instead of what I've done here, I have made it small enough that it's going to fit inside your traced line. So everything will line up inside, so you'll be able to cut that out now and put that in the back of your door. So as the doorway opens up, we'll have all the correspondences of the water element: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And then you can cut off the top that says water element, and you can make a header out of that too for each of your spread pages for your elements. So you can print these off twice for 2 grimoires if you want. One for your binder and one for your grimoire art magic spread. So first what I like to do is you're going to cut off or trace out, all the lines here, and then you're going to cut out the lines on the outside, and then we're going to have our, there we go, our little elemental headers as well that you can put on some black paper. So I've cut out some black cardstock to match it up perfectly. So before we glue down the correspondences on each doorway, just gonna use these as a little hinge. Grab some washi tape or some clear tape. I happened to luck out and I found some black washi tape, a bag of washi tape at the thrift store, and there was this one in it. So I was very happy. I bought that bag last year and I'm still using it. It was a pretty good score. So we want to tape the hinges of the doors together first. Then you're going to lay down the correspondence over top of it to help lock in the washi tape and to help glue that down, kind of secure that in place, and then hide any tape. Ta-da! And if anything's sticking out with the little paper at all, you can just trim that right off and clean it right up. Rinse and repeat for all the other ones. Our fire element next. I'm just making sure the black is all lined up. If not, we can just trim off the little bit of excess. And I'll just do one more to show you. So just like when you make cards, you want to put the washi tape down first and then any of your pictures over top of that, and to help secure it into place. Looks like my paper was a little bit big, so we'll just gingerly trim that off. Now this one, because we have many glue layers underneath, I'm going to be using some of my Mod Podge. It's going to dry a little faster and it's thicker, so it's going to help grab the paper underneath. I find if I just use stick glue for these ones, it's not gonna adhere as well. So some clear translucent craft glue, or just some white glue or Mod Podge glue would probably be pretty wonderful to stick these doors down. Now you can stick your water element header wherever you'd like. I'm gonna go with the upper left hand corner with this spread. I thought it would take away if I put it anywhere else. But I don't mind losing that area a little bit. There was human swimmers. We don't need to show that there was humans in my page. Now same thing for our earth. I have no humans showing, but we're going to find a little home for this one. I'm feeling the top left on all of these. A good healthy amount of glue, because it's gonna be a little bit bumpy with all your layers and all your glue layers that you put on. So put a good amount of Mod Podge glue down, if you will. Make sure that sticks good and centered. And I find I can go right to the next page right away. It actually tacked down quite nicely pretty quickly. Onto our air element again. And this one I have the background of the bats. I like it. So I have some greens and some browns in there too, with some yellows. Sure wish I had some more yellows in this page, so at least the doorway and the butterflies help bring out the air correspondence. Our fire element. Look at this page. It is so vibrant, just like the water. So I got glue stringies that are attached to my hands. I was trying to like let it go. So I don't mind that white center in the right hand page, because I'm going to be covering that up. So I didn't mind that it didn't just be a waste of space, but give a good solid cover up, and no one's going to see that. It's never going to be removed. And the last one, the spirit element with the spirit bears. I wish there was a white picture of white buffalo. That'd be cool too. And notice I covered up the fisherman in this. He's behind the polar bear's butt. No humans allowed in my collages. It must be the element of nature in the Fae. Now I thought I didn't want a really bright, vibrant white, and I just thought I'd just dull it down a little bit. I did 2 layers of grayscale watercolor. So I did a quick wash of some lighter, then I went back again into some depth and kind of did the nooks and the crannies, so it looks like a more three-dimensional vibe to it. And I went over the star again, giving a little bit of a darker gray. When it all dried, I was pleasantly surprised, and they all look like metal gates. So gave it a really neat little flavor and definitely toned down the colors of the brilliant white. And there I'm going over the star one more time. I really wanted to bring that one out just a little bit more. And then now I'm bringing in the shadows. I'm getting impatient. I want to move to the next page. So now that I have all the doors done, I have some charms. I have some tarot charms, actually, a wand, sword, chalice, and pentacle. And I have the tree of life or spirit. I couldn't find any fitting charms like planets or something for spirit, so I chose the tree of life. I'm kind of limited on some of my charm intake. I wound up rating my charms for doing charm readings. So a little bit of gel Gorilla Glue or gel Crazy Glue, or you could use craft acrylic glue as well. Now that will dry a little bit slower. I'm an impatient witch, so I'm going to use the Crazy Glue, and these are going to be my door handles for each of the doors. Looks like I'm struggling to get enough Crazy Glue gel out, but with a little bit of help, curling my toes, I should be able to get it glued on. There we go. And now, the reveal. Well, thanks for following along this journey of this 10-page spread. 5 different spreads. Woo! This is the biggest one we've done together yet. We have the eye, the silky, the coral that reminds me of Australia, my favorite octopuses. I love it. Blues, the earth element, the tree of life, the sage, the cleansing. I love statues and elements of archaeology. The pentacle for the door handle with this one. Our little me moth. Our beautiful hot air balloon in the skies of Paris with cranes and butterflies and rainbows. Oh my. The sword for the handle. And a wand for this handle for the fire element. A little bit of ancestor from ashes to bones, to birth, to life, to death. And the spirit element. Using the tree of life charm for the handle. That the spirit bears in the purity of the silence of snow. Well, thanks so very much for chilling out with me, and have yourself an absolutely magical day.